Well, upon request, here I am. So, see if Mr. Slovic pops into the chat, but had a request today to go over some of the animation flow in a computer versus computer game for Action PC Basketball 2023. I've last week had a chance to play around with the game. I'm super happy with a couple features. Number one, a smoother animation that synced up with the play-by-play. I played a half and really enjoyed it, and then played around with the settings to get those where I wanted. So we'll see a couple folks join up here. I'm going to do a walkthrough of that gameplay and take a look at computer versus computer. And that's something that I've never really used. A lot of times I'll have it set human versus human or human versus computer. And even on human versus human, I can select the CPU to make decisions along the way. But what I've noticed now in the CPU game is there's an ability to have a hey Bernard, welcome. There is an ability to have an easy pause button, I should say, right? If you need to get in here and do something manually. So I'm going to demo a little computer versus computer action. And hopefully this is to Mr. Slovic's liking because I think if he feels that the animation flow for action basketball is really good, where it will show the play by play in each pass, he will be able. Oh, hey Arnold, welcome, man. He will be able to do some of his broadcasts. I just came from Christopher Slovic doing the Creators Cup, and if you haven't had a chance to watch or listen to him call a game, I don't care what sport it is, you're missing a treat. Because to me, it really takes what we do as a creator here and for a sim project, and he just really brings it to life. And there was some great games that were going on in his Creator Cup series for baseball, and he's, I guess, kind of given me a new project, which is a big one that I'm working on now, which is going to be a state project. Similar to Action has a state file for players that are born in a specific state for baseball. And about a week or two ago, he asked me if I would take on creating teams for football based on where the players were born. And I thought, oh gosh, what an expansive project that is, because for football, you've got 50 plus uh, players per roster. So what I decided to do, and let me fire that up before I get into basketball, because I know Chris will be joining us, and he was headed to the restroom. Let me fire this up for football here real quick and tell you what I'm working on. And I've already got, I think, 20. I'm going to end up with 32 teams, which is just what he wanted, because some states were going to have to combine. But let's take a look at this. I've got the first team I did is Michigan. So I worked on Michigan, then Ohio, Pennsylvania, Illinois. So I have a ton of the rosters. I think I have 28 of them already identified. And what I'm doing is going through, because I'm not just going to import one specific season to represent the player. I'm going to use the player's best 3 seasons. And that's going to take me some more time. But when I'm done, not only do I have a state project, but I'm a lot closer to having that all time great file that I wanted. So I'm going to be working on that through the end of this year. And I think starting in 2024, Mr. Slovic will be running a state tournament. And I think it's just going to be one of the coolest things. I'm looking forward to this fun project to be in deep with it, but also to hand it off to him and watch him bring it to life. So, just as an example, this is the Michigan team I've got. I got to get it. I don't have the right photograph here for Craig Morton, but here's the 3 quarterbacks on that roster: Danielson, Earl Morrall, and Craig Morton. We can see running backs. And I'm working on the photos, as you can see down here, as we go. And I'm going to kind of create a card with the team that they actually played for the bulk of the seasons I'm using. I got Keith Lincoln here and Ron Johnson, Jerome Bettis so far. But you can see Frenchie Fuqua from Pittsburgh, and the rosters are pretty deep. I have not started with my O line folks. I think I've got kickers in. I'm looking to get a couple. We've got Stojanovic and Josh Lambo are the two kickers that come to mind. Oh, he's here. I'm giving him a little highlight, Chris, on a little bit of the football kind of preview of what's to come. I can even pull up some of my any of these of you that love. See what I was just working on right here is I was crunching the data for. I can zoom in a little bit here. The quarterbacks. This is for the Georgia team. So you got Cam Newton, Brad Johnson, and Deshaun Watson, and I was just crunching. I'm highlighting the year I'm going to assign them to and the 3 years that are being used, and I'm crunching the data right here to get that ready for a build. I've already got I've got some of my ratings done um, preliminarily. I've got another couple resources I use to tweak these run pass ratings for the blockers. And let's take a look right here. Here's the Pennsylvania team. Here's the problem with Pennsylvania right here. Third deep at quarterback, right? And we'll see who ends up being the starter as they look at era-specific adjustments for passer ratings. And I may trim the rosters down a little bit to be more normal. In other words, I mean, look at all the great running backs here, but making sure we've got kickoff return and punt returns covered. But you can see right here, I'm making sure each team has 3 tight ends, which gives you some options for injury and stuff like that. But it's been real fun as I'm cranking these teams out. Let me go to one of the smaller teams. Let's take a look at who else I got down here. Jersey, New Jersey, Mississippi got a really good team. But as you get down here, Louisiana's got a good team. Let's take a look at Louisiana right here. Got these 5 quarterbacks for Louisiana, right? The Manning brothers, Terry Bradshaw, Burt Jones, Dak Prescott, Doug Williams. I may build the quarterbacks out that way so that once this file is made available, if people want to pick the quarterback of their choosing, right? I mean, no doubt a lot of these aren't going to get um, all the playing time. Billy Joe Dupree with tight end. But what's interesting is some of the ones that only had between 200 and 300 players, I was still able to build out some of the teams. Here's an Iowa team. I think Iowa has 300 players total in the pool, but you can see they've got Warner, Trent Green, Bartkowski there, Joe Burrow. Um, Maybe definitely not as deep at the running back position, but with a football file, even if you're deep, there's only so many players that can start at the same time, right? So I think that's going to even things out a little bit. So we'll take a look at how that goes. Here's New England. So the New England states, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont. I have not got those teams assembled yet. That's the ones I'll be working on down here. I'm also going to have what I'd call a Pacific Northwest team. Washington and Oregon will be combined. And then I've got some of the Four Corners states with Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona that will be a combined effort. And then there will be, I call it the Big Sky states of Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, North, South Dakota. Those will form another one. So I think I'm going to have this exactly down to where Chris wants it, which is 32 teams, and be looking forward to it. Let me show off a couple of the big boys, I'll say. Florida. Um, there's your quarterbacks from Florida, oddly enough, right? We're not going back into the 50s or 60s or 70s here. You've got Lamar Jackson, Culpepper, and Stafford. Um, O.J. Anderson right there. It's going to be, it's just, I'm just having a blast in identifying already who the folks are. So let's take a look at a big one. California. There's their quarterbacks right here. I could go a little deeper with some of these bigger states, but really I'm just taking the 5 highest rated approximate value from Football Reference and making a couple close calls. But you got a backfield with some USC folks there, Allen and Simpson. This is a big one. Who we got right here? Texas. It's another big state. So Texas and California by far are well over 2,000. I think they're over 2,500 total players that have played in the NFL. Um, Way more than any other states. But again, you can have Drew Brees, Mahomes, Y.E. Tittle, Bobby Lane, and look at that. Grogan made the cut. But you can only have one playing at a time. Same thing with the backfield, right? You got LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, Dickerson. Look at this backfield out of Texas. Earl Campbell down here. But who are you going to play? You're not. There's not six quarterbacks out there. So while it may seem like one team's really stacked and deep, it's really the quality of the people you can put on the field. So I'm really going to have a blast building these teams out. Let's take a look at some of the smaller ones. Let's go look at, here's Tennessee. Okay, not as deep at quarterback, uh, and not as deep, but you've still got some interesting starters. Here you got Randall Cobb, Lynn Swan, Golden Tate. Those are quality wide receivers. Running back, not the big names. Terdell Middleton, that was a great couple of years for the in the late 70s, I believe, with Green Bay here. James Stewart, Reggie Cobb, the Tennessee team. What's interesting is seeing, is a state big enough to support having enough players at each position? Louisiana, again, that's going to be a deep one. Let's take a look at South Carolina. South Carolina has got some players. Here's where they struggle at quarterback. That's you're down to Tyler Thigpen and Mason Rudolph. That is it. So in my brain, I'm thinking, do I combine them and have the Carolinas? Well, no. Let's let them stand apart because they definitely have some quality at the other positions. You know, they got Kofor and Treadwell, so you got two good kickers to choose from. Look at the O line. You got Art Shell there. Defensive line. You got, some good players here. So this is an interesting team in that they've got great quality spread throughout. They just are real thin at quarterback. So anyway. So here we go. Ken Castro's asking for basketball. Yeah, Ken, this is organic. Are you you're claiming to come into one of these and have it go down exactly as predicted? Come on, that's not how we operate here. So anyway, this is going to be a fun build out. So basketball. Um, Chris brought up a great point on the Facebook forum about wanting to see the game flow because he wants the CPU versus CPU game to have a better flow. So let's fire this thing up, and I did some playing with this the other day. This is my all-time greats, best of 3 years. My great player file I'm working on, and I think I've got enough here to figure out who I want to highlight. Let's pull up Philadelphia and New York. I'm going to start it off human versus human. See who's going to play here. And again, these teams aren't really set up to be teams play against each other. They're placeholders as I create players. So let's go to options and let me take a look at and show you exactly how I have things set up. So when I do this, I always default this to always call 100% of the plays. I do that because if I'm playing a game, I want to call 100% of the plays. I've also got coverages set versus percentage. The game screen, I play full court. This is just how I set it up. I can tweak this if I don't like it, but right now on the play calling, I've got the full court icon set to photos because I like to take advantage of the photos. I've got the label displays turned off right now because I'm not a big fan of seeing those, and I haven't really played around with the size to figure out if I like it. So far right now, I'm enjoying just the photos being out there and watching the gameplay happen that way. You can see right here my play-by-play. I've got up here pretty fast. So we'll see how this looks, and I can always come and slow this down. As far as the video chalkboard, I've got that set on pretty fast, and the ball movement fast. So what I can do is, let me bring this down a little bit as we go in here and see how this plays out. Video chalkboard, I'll take it just a hair above middle. I like the green ball made with the shot. Oh yeah, I'll change. I'll change it right now. Chris is like, Steve, I didn't come here to see you play a game. I want to see this computer versus computer. I got you. I don't use the. I just don't like to play with the half court. It's just me. Take a look at here, graphics and sound. Narrator's off. I'm not using the narrator because my feeling here is that Mr. Slovic wants to look at this and see if he can call the game. Pause between a little bit here. We're going to go computer versus computer. All right, so we should have that set. Let's hit continue. Oh my gosh. Rookie move. View computer versus computer plays. So keep in mind right here on the main game screen, if this is unchecked, it will instantly play the game. Let's change that. Go back to exhibition game. Pick a different team here. Let's pick Washington. Washington against Philadelphia. Yes, they are over. Okay. Let me see which lineups I've got. Yeah, it's too small. It's too Boston and Philly. That'll work. Again, apologize. I like seeing some of these projects I work on, but they are not assembled to replicate full teams. Let me fire it back up. I'm hitting too many buttons, doing crazy stuff. And I'm realizing I'm starting the let me go start this one up. I think I had the old one on here. There we go. I haven't replaced this one on my desktop. So now we're in 2023 basketball. I think my settings will be exactly the way I want them. Yes, 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 yes. And then if we look at the speed, I think this is the ones I'll have set ready to go. Let's get Boston, Philadelphia. Now, let's do it. So we'll watch the game flow here and Chris, see if there's anything you'll notice here. You can see the play-by-play, right? And all the possession. Barkley outside. He's got the ball. He's driving, lays it up. There's the shot. Good. And you'll notice that red pause button gives me a second or two if I need to stop it for any reason, right? Jones with the rebound. Outlet pass to Cheeks. Head to Barkley. Off the window and in. Now I'm going to slow it down even more. Play around a little bit with it. Bird gets taken a little injury timeout. Cornbread Maxwell in. Oh, missed. So you can see it's matching up really good. So here's a rebound by Jones. Iverson's got the ball. Foul line extended. Jones with the power move. Green basket to score. So you let me know, Chris, as you're watching this, if you'd want it even slowed down even more to be able to call it. You see that red pause button's always up for a couple seconds if I need to stop it. Maxwell on the inbound. Kuzi into Russell on the inside. He's got the ball. Missed it. Maxwell with the offensive rebound. Good look on the inside. Misses that. Looks like Cheeks got the rebound. Setting it up. Iverson's got it on the left wing. It looks like a drive. And he's going to lay it up and miss it. Havlicek knocked to the floor. McHale gets the board. As you can see, Boston fast break. Now there's an icon up at the top with the arrow talking about who's got the fast break. And yeah, Havlicek to McHale. So as I'm watching this, I'm seeing the animation match the play by play. I think it's just a matter of, do we slow? Okay, I'll pause it and tell you what you want. Tell me what you like, Chris. Like really fast? Like fast. Okay. Anything else? Yep. Sound tab. Graphics and sound tab. Waiting for Chris's instruct. Now go slow on the chalkboard. Okay, what about, okay, gotcha. Got it. Wait, it sounds to me like you're trying to break the system. It's like, I want this fast, this slow, and let's see. Maybe you know exactly what you're solving for here to be able to compare it to what you've seen before. Anything else? Okay. Got it. One more. View full court plays. Where's that one at here? Okay, view full court. Yeah, just trying to figure out where that would be. What are you getting at with view full court plays, right? Make it all game. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, display backcourt situation changed to under 20 minutes. Okay. And last period, both of them under 20 minutes, right? So in other words, you should see all the flow. That's what I'm guessing. All right. Tell me if there's anything else. Now go. Right. Now let's watch the game, huh? Oh, Kuzi. Outside, dribbles back. Ooh, Irving's got the ball from Maxwell. Philadelphia fast break. Irving's going into the bucket and misses it off the glass. Kuzi with the rebound. So he's saying I can speed it up with the chalkboard. How much? You want me to come? We'll come up a little bit. Let's try that. Just a hair under average here. This is really a test for Crispy since he's the one that calls these games to see if he can see any difference with the settings he uses. Well, no doubt I've set them and got things going haywire with this animation because of... Let's see. Hey, Dwayne. Okay, so you're saying go almost all the way. So we'll be up in this area here. Hey, Beatles. Okay, let's see how this flow goes. Who's he bringing the ball up? I'm just looking at the play-by-play, trying to think if I was calling the game how this would hit. Pulled down by Jones, Philly fast break. Oh, Iverson to Cheeks, basket in. And to me, when I looked at that, I look at it matching the description pretty well. Ooh, Maxwell will shoot too. He gets fouled by Irving. First one's good. Maxwell with the second one. It's good. And here we go. Barkley with the inbounds. Cheeks to Barkley. Barkley lays it in. So Chris, let me know, are you seeing anything that looks better than what you've seen in the past iterations based on the settings you use to call some of the games? I think that's the big thing, because I had not used CPU versus CPU before to have any frame of reference. So it was all new to me, and so I tried to set it up like if I was going to call a game and kind of slow it down, and I thought it was very smooth, accounted for all the passes, and got it to where I could match it up. Here we go. All right, Chris, what do you have? Give me some instruction and we will. What's interesting is I've been playing around with the football game as well, trying to use the narrator in that one. And I'm pretty happy with what I've got. In other words, with the CPU versus CPU game. Okay, do what I did at the beginning. So, I think I've got, I think it was somewhere around middle. Ha! You had me change so much stuff. Let me take a look now, and I got to remember what the heck I did. Let me see my ball movement. Video chalkboard. Plays. Let's try this one. Slow it down a little bit. So you got Kuzi on the perimeter, whips it to Maxwell outside, shoots the jump shot. Okay, Jones over the top. So what we got? Got some lineup changes coming in. Paul Silas with the inbound. Russell inside. Bounce pass to Silas. Shoots the 8-footer off the glass. Missed it. Russell with the offensive board. Takes a little jumper. No good. Rebound by Shays. Philly trying to beat the trap. Barkley down low. Barkley backs in. Somebody swiped that one. Oh, it's out of bounds. Oh, Counts with the layup. Missed it off the glass. Barkley with the good defense. Tip. Barkley gets the rebound. Sends the ball to Shays inside. And he misses it off the glass. Barkley comes away with it. I can see the icon with, oh, it makes a good 10-foot shot. So, see if I can pause it. Yeah, I'm going to slow him down here, Chris. Maxwell with the short rainbow, like it. Okay, let me check this again and see where I'm at. Game set up. I like a chance. It gives me, when you say long pause after chalkboard, it just, let me see what other settings I got to put back, and I'll see how this works out. All right, let's try this. Half-court trap. Clark behind the arc puts up a 3, misses it. No good. Boston fast break. JoJo White looks like he has it. Play-by-play looks a little bit behind, so now I'm going to fix that. So let me go to this. Play by speed to the slowest it can go. Seemed like it was too slow. Not sure what you're trying to do with that, Chris. Let me know what you're trying to achieve with the limiting the pause between plays. What's the purpose of that? Oh, hold on a second. I think I've got it on long play-by-play versus short, so we should get all the detail. It's just it should print a little faster versus slower. right there, I got the play-by-play is behind the animation. Let's try this. I always look to see if they're synced up. That's my main thing. Barkley. Let's see what we got. Kuzi behind the arc. Picked up by Cheeks. Kuzi launches a three. Off the rim. Barkley's got the rebound. I'm gonna have to go back and figure out exactly how I had this original one set up. Nice. Off the window, good. So let me try the play-by-play slower. My only fear is, with me, I try to get the video and the play-by-play to be as synced as possible. I don't want to see one way before the other or way after. So let's take it down real slow and see what this does. Kuzi drives hard. Pick and roll with Maxwell. Gets it in to Kuzi outside the arc. He shoots. So you notice there? Okay, he fires a three, he makes it. I noticed he fired the shot, and it took about a second and a half before they said so. See, I'll watch this. Cheek settles for the jumper. Knocks it down. Okay, so let's bring everything down a little bit. Ball movement. Match it up with the ball movement. What's the purpose of making the pauses fast, Chris? Okay, Pierce outside the three-pointer. Puts up the shot, fires, see, he makes it, now it says fires a three. Nothing but net. Yeah, we know. And see, this is the thing I don't like about it is that took two, that was almost too delayed. So video chalkboard, bringing it up. Rebounded by Russell. Let's see what you're saying here, Chris. Pauses faster. Let's see. Cheeks, see, Cheeks is already doing stuff physically ahead of the description. Maybe that's just at the original play setup, so I'm going to watch this a little bit. Barkley with the tough defense, rebounded by Cheeks. Philly fast break. Quick outlet pass, 4-on-3 break. Second bar, second tab of what? Oh, pause between plays. We want that fast? We want this fast? All right, let's see. Pick and roll with Russell. Havlicek layup, missed it. He bricks it. Rebounded Barkley. Fast break. Cheeks has it. Quick outlet pass. Cheeks to Shays. Video ahead of play-by-play on that one. That's what I just make a mental note. Video is a little ahead of the play-by-play. Let's see if Shays with the second free throw here. Shays suit again, video ahead of play-by-play. Pierce behind the arc. Bounces at the same time he says fires his three. So right here I say, just from what I've seen, I know video is ahead of play-by-play. So, what would I change? Play-by-play is too slow. Video is here. Play-by-play needs to get closer to it, right here. That's how I solve for it. Misses. Iverson with the ball. Goes down the lane. Video is now ahead of play-by-play. See if it syncs itself back up. Okay, that one was synced. nicely on this fast break. Moving to Shays. Play-by-play still ahead. And this is where it's just maddening. Now I can't even remember how I got them the exact way I liked them. Now I'm gonna have to go back in here and figure out how just little by little. High off the glass, misses. Yep, somebody got him on the arm. Foul. I would say though, this second slider down here, ball movement, is all half court. I don't think it has anything to do with running full. I mean, you can move it up, but let me see. Maybe it does. Let's see. Check inbounds it. Kale in the basket with a short rainbow, misses. Right back out. Barkley with strong defense. Into the hands of Russell, who's got it. Shays takes it away. Philly fast break. Shays has it. Makes a pass before we hear about it. Whoa. And again, I think we're just down. Again, once you get, this is what I got to do. I got to get it how I like it, or it could be the right pace to call a game. Because once you start tweaking one thing, it's going to impact the other. So it's like shooting a moving target, right? At some point, you get to get everything synced up. There's a lot of unique preference in here for everybody on how you'd call a game, and one is not going to apply to the other. Yeah, it never. And where I got mine is I was just following the flow, and I don't care if the flow's slower as long as it's in sync. But Pierce outside, so he fired a shot, hits it. Bit off. I'm going to go play-by-play needs to be bumped. Let's check those rules. Oh, hate media timeouts. It's ridiculous. I don't think the game handles them very well. We've got don't have any pro settings on this. I don't have a. This is my homebrew league file in here versus one that's bringing in a rule set with it. Cool. All right, Chris, head to bed. I'm going to fire up another game here and test out some of the flow. Oh, let's take a look at this game screen. And there I go with my runtime error. Let's pop in. Oh, nice. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm going to be putting a ton of work into that here in the coming months for sure. Already having fun with it. So let's take a look and make sure I've got the right teams to have this game. So let me look at my Detroit team. Yep, I have enough. Let's do this. Let's do an exhibition with the Lakers at Detroit. Computer versus computer. Let's roll. Let me just get into this and see if I can find the settings I like. Let's see, we got Baylor inside. Passes to O'Neal. He's making the move. Slam dunk. So that's fairly synced up for me if I was calling play-by-play or fouling. Thomas making a move inside. Screen and roll. Shot clock violation. Now that I've turned that back on, that came into play early. Shoots the jumper. Then we saw him shoot the jumper. It won't go down. Rodman taps it to himself. Fast break Detroit. I do like that label up there now. Outlet pass. Ooh, to Dumars. Missed it. Play-by-play might need to be picked up a hair from what I can see there. This is all I do. I started tweaking a little bit. My whole goal was trying to sync up the play-by-play and see if it would show every pass visually, and if the flow was close enough that it didn't bother me. But again, there's so many settings here, you get lost in this. Set them up to your liking. I had never done the CPU versus CPU game, per se. I'd always either sat there with one side or hit the CPU button while it was unit versus unit. Hits the shot, drains it. Lanier's got the ball. Alley-oop. And you'll notice, even though the visual went in there, he held it till the play-by-play caught up with it before it did the next thing. So Jerry West outside, drops it into Baylor. Off the rim. Rodman, tough defense, out to West. Gonna reset. He's got the ball. Bryant misses. Lanier with the rebound. Thomas dribbles into the front court. Switch sides. Ooh, Lanier drives. And called for an offensive foul. So as you can see right here, I'm just going to pause it. I could tweak this a hair here, a hair that, but I've got it pretty much set up where the play-by-play and the video is fairly in sync. And I'm enjoying it. And I can tell you, if I go back to 2022 and look at it, I was enjoying that chalkboard. But this one just seems like the flow is a little bit more synced than it has been to me. Just my thoughts on that. The other thing I love is this. Got a new box down here called cards. So if I hit cards, this is what it pulls up. I think this screen is one of the best additions, not just because I create cards and I love seeing them in the game, but this is showing you all 10 players out on the court and who's covering who, right? So you can see in this matchup here, West versus Isaiah Thomas, but it gives you a great visual along with the information that's here. So you can see all their ratings right here, their overall rating. Window dressing for some, for others like me, I think it's window dressing that I love to see, but also some good valuable information as far as the matchups. And it's a great way to look at it. I just got to figure out how to get the heck out of the screen, because I have my oh, I hit exit, hit escape, and I'll get out of here. Because as you can see, I'm running this my 38 monitor right here, so it's is it 16:10 is the ratio? But anyway, love seeing that the card section. Let's watch a little bit more here. The other thing I could do is turn on the player display info. I keep it off, meaning that like the little label. Oh, Bryant fires a three, misses it. Off the rim. Now let me speed that. Play-by-play to me needs to come up right here. Always remember. But anyway, this is just the visual I like with the cards out there. It's kind of a cleaner look. Neal with the dunk, misses the dunk. Tripped by Lanier, and he's going to the line for two. Let's pause before the free throw. One thing you can do over here is in the setup, you can see over here player displays. Put it on very large. I'm not sure that's going to even. Okay. Very small. To put the ratings on. There's something else I'm trying to think that overrides that, meaning screen. Player, court displays left, plays right. Ratings. Full court icon. So chalkboard, I can use photo. Play calling, let's use position. Let's see what that is. There you go. So you can see, I can go in here if you want to just see the icons versus player photos. You can mess around with that. I like the player photos on. Makes the free throw, and in it goes. Let's take a look at some other, little bit of the flow here. Neal shoots the second, and it's good. Let's see what we got here. You can see I've got the offense showing highlights on there, whether somebody's playing off or denying. Dumars with the jumper, awkward shot, all net. That seems pretty synced up to me, so let's see. O'Neal to Bryant outside, steps back, batted away. Dumars with the steal, fast break for Detroit. And here's Thomas, has it in the middle, 4-on-3 out to Lambier. He's coming all the way in, and Lambier takes it with a layup, and it's good. So yeah, the timing right there with the play-by-play and all that's pretty decent for me. I could call a game from doing this. Again, you can get down there and tweak little things. Nothing but net. There we go. Boom. Hit with the jumper. Off the rim. Lambert grabs the offensive rebound. West steals it. Fast break for LA. Kobe's got it. Bryant handles it to the rim, misses it. Brought down by O'Neal, and you'll see it gives the play-by-play a chance to catch up. O'Neal's got it. Three-pointer from Bryant, misses it. Can't hit it, battle. Green grabs it. AC Green got that one. Puts up the short jumper, and nothing but net. So anyway, as you can see right there, I think I've got it set up right now where I can really play, and if somebody grabs a rebound and the play-by-play catches up a little bit, they'll show them on the visual with the ball, let the play-by-play catch up, and away we go. But little minor tweaks here and there, but with anything, it's tweaking it to your liking, but I think the flow is smooth. I don't see any anomalies where, you know, the pass is going to somebody else and it's not called right, or the flow isn't capturing all the passes. I think I've got it slowed down to where it's doing a great job of that. So I've been very happy with what I've seen. My next thing is going to be, as I finish this basketball project out, is really getting the courts, because this is a generic court right here, right? But, you know, getting the courts you like in and all that, all the window dressing that can make the gameplay more fun. That's what I'm looking forward to. And again, I'm just using some teams that I've been creating for some of the all-time great stuff. So any of you Boston fans, I've created these players so far. Let's go in here to modify, but we can see there's Larry Bird, got all his key information in here. JoJo White's done, Paul Silas, Sam Jones, Bob Cousy. Anyway, getting the photo packs done. And I really like some of the things you can do with the team. Starting with baseball, there's been a lot of cool things with the mods. So when you go to utility or user mods, all the games now, I think football's got it too. Probably hockey will be the next one that comes out, where you can go in here and look at your photo assignments, saving it, user image zip files. You can bring them in easier, and then the reference mod tool. So, you can come down here and create references. So, for example, like on this one, I've got Denver. You can create specific mods there. So you can use certain logos and stuff for certain years for the teams. Um, Pretty powerful tool. This is one aspect I have not, um, I guess, dug into, is how convenient this could be to bring mods in from, the colors and all that. So it's a powerful tool. I've yet to dig into this, but this has been added to all the games. I think hockey will be the next one that'll get this. Trying to think what else. Oh, basketball. The other thing that's great about basketball, a lot of people say, "Hey, can I create fictional players?" Well, in basketball, you can. It's great. You can come here and say, "I want to create fictional players. How many? Mixed positions." Um, and the game will do it for you. It's pretty cool. You can also go in here and set up a league. So if you wanted to set up a new league, let's see here. Is it organize league tools? Okay. Right here, team setup tools. You can globally change all the teams. Like in this team, these are draft. They're not stock teams. So like if you forgot and you said, "Oh, I need to change all of these to draft," you could come over here and globally do that. It's got some of the general settings for players, salary reset, things like that. Set utilities, create new league. So if I go to utilities, create a new league, it's going to ask me if I want to create this league with fictional players. So when you do that, you could pop it up. Like let's say you're going to just do a, random, you could give it whatever name. You could sit here, put the year you want them in, how many divisions, do you want it to have team names or use random sittings? And then you go right here and get to pick up fictional. I don't do fictional stuff, but this is a great tool in the basketball game to do that. The other nice thing I like with editing is, let's go right here. Default ratings. If you ever want to run default ratings, this is it. You can do it at the team level right here. If you put in your own stats and want that to be done, this is an easy way to do it. The other thing that's really interesting is if you create a player, well, let me modify, go right into a modify player screen. Here's Isaiah Thomas. But the one thing that you could do here is you could create stats. So if you get into a fictional league or whatever, and you know attributes, you could create the stats that the game needs to play it. So for example, you create a high school team. You could come in here and say, what type of scoring are they? Triple minus? You know what I mean? You're giving them the ratings and then letting it create stats based off that rating. So anybody in here that's creating like a high school team or something like that, and you don't have stats, you can reverse engineer your way to the stats by the ratings, just like the stats can auto generate ratings for a player. So it gives you, hey, Big Clue, welcome in, welcome in. It gives you a way to approach it either direction. That's one of the cool things about this. The other nice thing is allow stat editing here. You could come right here and, oh, I wonder if they did clear stats. I think they added this for me at my request and put it in a place I didn't really think it would be there. So let me show, let's take a look at 2022. So you'll notice now if I want to edit the real life stats, I can go here and hit clear and put all of this information right here. That's pretty cool. That has not been there in 2022. So let's go to 2022 and see. Here's 2022. go to Detroit. Let's go to Isaiah Thomas. And you'll notice that box is not there. So awesome. I didn't know if they added that. I'd given them that request because sometimes when I'm importing from different files and I need to add numbers, I would have to manually go and do all that stuff. So that is cool that they added it there. Love it, love it, love it. So let's unpin that from the taskbar. I'm about ready now that I've done enough testing here to drop it. So now I got the 2023 down here on my bar. So I can hit it and fire it up. So that's a cool feature. Very nice of them to add it for me when I'm doing my different things. But yeah, those are the big things that's changed. I think the flow is much smoother. You've got a lot more ability to fine tune it in for the animation. I love the player cards in the game. It just looks so much better to me. Let's see what we got here for the Orlando Magic. So modify Scott Skiles. Yep. Yep, I got the clear stats button. That is awesome. Other place sometimes I'll do is if you're modifying a team, I'll come here and go edit, and you could edit the player stats right from this sheet. This would be another good place to, if you're going to edit a bunch of stuff. So you can edit this, edit general player info. You can edit in these forms under the team, or you can just go right to the individual player and hit modify, and then you can modify anything you want about them right from this. So there's two ways to go about editing in the game, right? And you'll notice this is automatically shut off, so you can't change the real life stuff, but you just hit allow stat editing, and there you go. You can update the real stats. Very nice. Give you a chance to put some notes. Just taking a look at the format, seeing what's changed, but not a lot of earth-shattering changes to the game. And I hear a lot of times people say, "Well, I don't know if I want to get this version because there hasn't been a lot of changes." And here's what I'll say: I don't mind. Sometimes I'll even wait. If I'm busy with the other games, I won't get like a football or basketball when it first comes out if I'm not playing that game right away. And I may wait 6, 8 months into it and then get it at a discounted price. But what I will say is, you're getting the new season in there. So yeah, what are you paying, $20 or whatever for an upgrade? And I'm happy to support the company with all their sports. But yeah, I agree. I may not grab. It may not seem like there's tweaks or upgrades that are earth shattering, right? In this one, I can tell there's been some flow that's been updated. Let's take a look at to basketball. What is it saying? Here's the enhancements right here. So you got the basketball card style pop-ups. I love it. Um, I wish they would do something for baseball like that, honestly, where you could show, hey, click it and see like the offensive team lineup, like with a great lineup with visuals, or you could see a baseball field and have the cards laid out with all the necessary information on it for the field. I'm going to probably suggest that they expand the view of that. Expanded leaderboards, so you now have more stats with more images for leaderboards, management tools for importing coach profiles, zip files, all upgraded. That's a common theme that I've seen where you can direct where you put stuff. Like I'm going to export the file like we're doing for the Shanks League and send it to get to select the file that it goes to. Team information, you can do any team color or font. That's a new thing they've been adding in all the games. Box score, detailed, some new updates. What do we got? Calling play-by-play and in-season tournament format option, which if you think about it, um, could be interesting, especially in the college basketball where you've got some in season tournaments and that. So yeah, not a lot of earth shattering upgrades, but I really do like this pop up. In fact, let me pop up an exhibition game just to highlight that. Denver, who we got with enough players? Oh, Chicago here. Atlanta, Chicago. Let's get it going, and this is what it would look like. Let's get the game fired up. I'd love to see this in baseball. So right now, I got it human on human, so I've got a decision here to make. But if I pull up the cards, this is awesome. This tells me who is on. Hey, Carlos, glad you're here. Yeah, you should. And take a look. This is clue. I want this for baseball. So if you think about it, at any given time, you could hit fielding team, boom, and it would pull up. Maybe just figure out like a baseball image with the cards laid out that way, or you could hit batting team and see like a lineup displayed with the cards next to it. I think this is just a way to enhance some of the window dressing. Well, I can see I don't have a Doc Rivers card in here, right? But this is really cool because matchup-wise, it's not only a good way to add the visuals, but it gives you all the information about the players and who's matched up against who, with all their ratings and that. So I like this. Yeah, a thumbnail preview. So if you think about who has that, is it Fangraphs? Take a look at this for baseball. I think Fangraphs does that with some of the greats on the team, right? Let's see. The Braves. Yeah, something like this. So if you could picture, you know, we take a little snapshot right here. Here's a field, and then this would be the card. Your left fielder card here, you could put an image and all their ratings, right? Maybe it's defensive ratings. Something like this would be cool for action to add and take advantage of the cards. And that would be, you could click on the fielding team, and then the other one would just be a batting lineup here where you had all 9 cards in the batting order like that. In fact, I think I'm going to take some cut and paste and send that off to headquarters and see if they would add something like that, because I think that would just be a cool visual. You think about a broadcast style, right? A lot of times there's like, you can look around the diamond and see them, but wouldn't it be cool to be able to pull that up and talk about, hey, here's the team in the field. Same thing for football. Getting ideas now for this thing. So, yeah, but anyway, that's a great view. Just thought I'd come on a little bit today and talk about good stuff. Yeah, pregame with starting lineups from the left, right, but no picks and ratings. Yeah, exactly. But if we had some picks and ratings and window dressing, I think those are those little things. You know, the game engine's so good, but MLB is coming up in December, a release, so I expect baseball is the #1 priority for the next 3 months. Yeah, you bet. As soon as they get hockey out the door here, pretty soon. Um, I'm hoping, since I got to beta test last year, that I'm going to get to beta test this year. So I'm really hoping to be able to do that. Wondering with the hockey game. I haven't played the hockey game in quite a while. Um, let's see. Have they announced anything around the hockey game? Maybe I haven't paid attention. I've been so busy with different things. No, we do not have information coming. but it should be next. I would guess it should be next. Good point. Good, man. Glad everybody hopped. I mean, I got 10 people here hopping in. Definitely, it's Shanks time of year. I have not downloaded it. Maybe later tonight or sometime this week. If Dwayne Martz is ready, Dwayne, grab and go. Grab that file and go because I'm going to save my broadcast, I think, for once we get into the postseason. In fact, let me pull the latest down from Discord. Maybe I'll highlight what we got coming up. So let's go find it. Baseball Geek Squad. I think MV dropped it yesterday. Here it is. Take my downloads. Oh, this is somebody's, the latest manager file. Okay, so always unblock this. Just call that manager file. And let me download the latest zip here. Probably going to have to give it. Okay. Always go and make sure this thing's unblocked so it'll run good. So let's go to downloads and see what we got going on here with the baseball game. Let's import, where are we at? Install season. Look and download, display all files. It's called Howie Shanks. 9-1. Late September zip. Okay. Install. And then today, MV put a his manager file. So let me copy that and drop this in the. And this is called what? Howie Shanks. Late September. Here we go. I will drop that manager file so we should be able to import it. Import managers. There it is, the Manchester manager on 9.4. So let's take a look at what we've got going on right here. So this is all ready to go. And Dwayne, you give me a thumbs up if you've already got this stuff handled. Did you already download that file and drop in, what is it, MV's manager file that he posted? Let me know, thumbs up if you've already got it. But let's take a look at what we've got coming up on the slate. What do we have here? We have Manchester. Is anybody besides me pulling for a late September crash? Is there anybody here other than MV that's actually pulling for Manchester and not um, Vegas trying to catch him? I mean, I think we're all Vegas gambler fans now. Kentucky, this is one of the closest because when all the sims I ran, I think Kentucky, there was a three-way tie once for first, but I think 95% of the time Kentucky was coming out first there. Death to Manchester, yeah. Okay, good, great. Dwayne's got it. So I'm gonna just yap here for about 5 more minutes and then call it quits and let Dwayne fire up the thing and take it. Here's what I'd say, Dwayne: take this sucker to the end. Do a couple games and maybe sim a week and see if it gets closer, and then see if there's another good game to do, and have some fun with it and bring us home to the end of the season. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take in each division Teams 2 and 3 are going to play a best 2 out of 3 playoff, meaning whoever wins the divisions get a bye in the first round, and then we'll go in best of 7 for the division series and the World Series. So that's going to be the approach into the postseason, and I'm happy to care for the postseason and some of the broadcasts there. And even if the postseason's looking good, we can share some of the cool broadcasts amongst all the content creators here. So definitely looking forward to it. Who stands out? Well, I got a batting leader here, Ty Cobb, for me. That's really about it. He's leading the league in batting and stolen bases. He's really my go-to person. Manager of the year, big clue. Uh, I'm sure that's based on record and not the character of the manager. Maybe I don't know. I assume that's just how well the team's doing. Pedro Martinez with the Cy Young. So yeah, the pitching staff for this Kentucky team is something. That's what's really been. If I look at the replay stats here, take a look at the WHIP in this league. I mean, let's look at innings pitched here. If I hit the right button, there it is. Yeah, Noodles. This pitch, having that many people under 4 ERA in a league like this with all stars is crazy. Oh, and you'll notice here I haven't upgraded my pictures to this new file, but yeah, that's just a great staff right there. So there's no character clause. Yeah, no character. Well, that's look at MV. I mean, he's kind of the league mascot in a way. Is that the right word I'm looking for? Mascot? MV for some reason. Quite a lovable character in this league. Look at the home run power here with the Canada team: DiMaggio, Garrick, Rodriguez. Interesting. I got Ty Cobb leading the league in batting and stolen bases, yet DiMaggio has 46 homers, 151 RBIs, and Cobb can't even make that all-star team because DiMaggio has center locked down. Yeah, punching bag. So anyway, this is cool stuff. I'm going to give way now to Dwayne. And Dwayne, how long before you're on here? Are you ready to roll, or are you going to take some time, different things like that? Let me know. Um, and I'll go back. I don't know. This is baseball. I started this with the. This is my states list that we're doing. Christopher Slovic, any of you football fans out there, has talked me into doing a state project, meaning it's all-time greats football teams based on the state they were born in. And I have about 90 some percent of it completely done as far as the rosters identified. And then I'm slowly going through and adding in because I don't want this to be just grab a player from their best season and go. I'm doing my thing where I'm grabbing the 3 best seasons, averaging them to a year, and I'm getting smarter about how I can work and crunch the numbers, but it's still a ton of work. So you can see here I've got the Michigan team. I think I've got 4 of the teams. I've got Ohio team done with ratings, Pennsylvania done with ratings, and right now I'm on Illinois. Oh, Illinois is done with ratings. So now I'm on to Georgia. So you can see here I stopped earlier today. There's Jim Brown done right here, and I'll be working my way through this project. So the idea with this one will be, yeah, Pennsylvania with great quarterbacks. And what town are you in, Dwayne? Are you in Maryland? Because I'm going to have a Maryland, Washington D.C., Delaware combo team. I'm trying to figure out where to put West Virginia. I'm trying to figure out, do I combine West Virginia with Virginia, or do I, because Virginia already has a pretty good squad, or do I take and make a Kentucky West Virginia combo team? Let me see who I got right there. There's Indiana. Wisconsin has a team. Minnesota. Alabama has a team. New York, Jersey, Missouri, Mississippi. Okay, here's Virginia. Fran Tarkenton. What's great too is some of these players you know of, or you think they were from a state or went to school there, and then you realize, oh, they were born in someplace different. All right, so there's Virginia's already got a good team. So let's go take a look at Kentucky too. So I haven't determined. Maybe you guys can help me. Do I take West Virginia and meld it into Virginia, or your South Carolina has a team? Although, as I tell you, South Carolina's got a decent team, but some terrible quarterbacks right there. Louisiana, Tennessee, they'll be all right. Texas is good. California, loaded. Florida, loaded. Iowa, New England. New England will be the states make of New England. Washington and Oregon. Arkansas. And here's Kentucky. So I'm still trying to determine, do I take West Virginia? Okay, let's take a look at how Indiana is. Yeah, Indiana, not a large state there in the Midwest. And here we go. Indiana, you got Bob Greasy, Jay Cutler, Jeff George, quarterback, right? Running backs. Eh, yeah, you'll have a team, right? Timmy Brown's there. Not premier running backs, but enough. You got Mark Clayton, Derek Mays, right? So you've got the players and data to cover a team. You just may not have a lot of the Hall of Fame folks right there. I'm getting 3 tight ends per, which is going to be great for some options. Offensive lineman, Bob Kuchenberg's there. Defensive, got Chris Dolman, Alex Karras, Lamar Lundy. So there's some bigger names on the defensive line for Indiana. Linebacker, Scott Studwell, Larry Stallings, who was a good one for the Cardinals back in the day, Jim Purnell, some Marv Matusik. So you're not looking at a ton of Hall of Famers coming through there, but now we get into the defensive backs, and you got Ron Woodson, right? Anybody a fan of the old blaxploitation films? How about some Fred Williamson back in the day? Irv Cross is there. So yeah, um, there's a team. I mean, just not tons of Hall of Famers like Texas and some of those. But as I've said before, Texas can't start 5 quarterbacks. They can't start, 6 wide receivers. So yeah, some of the other ones, and here's Wisconsin. I'd say some of the smaller states, right? You got Crazy Legs Hirsch there, George Sauer. They really, Wisconsin, when it comes to wide receivers, are limited. They got a lot of old school receivers. Some old school running backs here with Rocky Blyer and Pete Banasak, which Woolfolk played at Michigan. Their quarterbacks, they got Kaepernick, Jay Schrader, Dave Craig. Two good kickers from the 70s right here, Tom Dempsey and Jim Bakken. And look at this, uh, Mike Webster and Jim Otto at center. Newberry was with the Rams. Joe Thomas, that's a real good offensive lineman. Fuzzy Thurston. So some interesting teams for sure. One of the teams that's interesting is Mississippi. Let me see where they're going to be at. Mississippi, you got Archie Manning, McNair and Favre. Walter Payton is at running back with Roger Craig. Wilbert Montgomery, Philadelphia player. Wide receiver, Harold Jackson, Jerry Rice. Jackie Smith and Billy Cannon at tight end. Kurt Knight is really their only kicking option who kicked for I think it was the Washington Redskins, late 60s, early 70s. Offensive lineman, you got Jackie Slater, Leon Gray. Yeah, some good linemen, right? LC Greenwood on that team. So you think about a state the size of Mississippi population wise, and there's a really good team they're going to put on the field um, to represent the state. So that'll be really really cool. Yeah, and the Watt brothers you were looking about a little earlier. What's another interesting one? Where is I got the Kansas team yet? Well, let's take a look. California's just deep. Look at that. Five. I mean, I could probably put 10 quarterbacks on here, but going to have good running backs. You're going to be so deep at receiver. And look at this, probably the best tight end crew right there. I mean, when you got Tony Gonzalez and Kellen Winslow, that is the best 1-2 punch with tight ends for any state, in my opinion. Plenty of kickers, plenty of putters. You got Anthony Munoz, Max Montoya, right? That were on those Bengal teams. Gary Zimmerman. Interestingly enough, probably not the best offense defensive line compared to other states. Linebackers, DBs, Troy Polamalu. Let's see if there's one other team I can look at here. Where is some of these smaller ones? Iowa. Who knew Iowa would have? Look at this. Some really good quarterback options for Iowa. Really, really interesting, right? Vernon Herder. And what's interesting is some of these players had no idea what was really their birth state, right? Sometimes you associate the college they went to or whatever, and they don't line up. In other words, I thought Matt Stafford, because him and Kershaw were buddies growing up playing Little League in Texas, he's going to be my Texas connection. No, Stafford was born in Florida. Didn't even know that. So New England haven't identified their team yet, but will shortly. Um, Washington and Oregon will be combined into one team, probably a Pacific Northwest team. Arkansas has a team. Keith Jackson at tight end. It's just been a fun project. I've only been working on it a little bit off and on. I got a lot done for the last week actually because, um, yeah, you mean the straight ahead kickers, the straight forward kickers. What else I got here? Oh, Kansas and Nebraska. So each of them had just a little over 200 players in total history. So what I did is combine them. So they're going to be a combined team, the Kansas Nebraska team. Um, you can see you got a Jim Everett, who was a pretty decent quarterback in the late 80s, early 90s. One of the few players out of Albuquerque that ever went to high school in Albuquerque, but was born in Kansas, I believe. Barry Sanders, John Rig. How about this? When you've got two players that were born in Kansas, the Kansas Comet and Barry Sanders. So I mean, this will be a good team here. And then you got Riggins who can come in at fullback. Not the greatest um, wide receiver core, but definitely a good running team. Better at defensive back than they are at linebacker or at defensive lineman, but we'll see. Um, and here I believe this one, I don't know what placeholder this is. I'm probably going to have a four. I got to figure out how I deal with these teams over here. Right here. These are the total teams. So I've got to I've got to find three teams from these. I got to take North and South Dakota. I may add those to Minnesota, or do I make like a big sky where Montana, Wyoming, um, Idaho's another one I got to figure out, and Idaho, and then how do I break up the four corner states, right? I still got Nevada. So do I take like Arizona, Nevada, New Mexico, and then do a Utah, Colorado. I've got to figure out how to break these states up into three because I've got 29 right now, and this will give me 32, which is what Slovic wanted. And a little bit of work to do right there. But anyway, little highlight into this project. I've got, as I showed earlier, I'll pull up the football game. I've created one team. I've started to create one team based off the data I have done for them right here, and that's the Michigan team. I've got their quarterbacks, Gary Danielson, Earl Morrall, and Craig Morton. And that Michigan's going to be hurting, not the best. And I'm doing photos along the way with the specific team that I'm using the most years for, and then the logo that that year would have had in play. But you can see running backs is not too bad. We got Ron Johnson. We have James Brooks here, Tyrone Wheatley, Frenchie Fuqua, Pittsburgh Pirate right here. Keith Lincoln, who was in the AFL with the Chargers. TJ Duckett. So again, working on some of the photos. Wide receivers and tight ends. Antonio Gates, there's a standout. Really looking forward to him. Muhsin Muhammad, Allen Robinson, right? Still playing in the NFL right now. We got Jimmy Smith out of Jackson State, Andre Rison, Terrence Mathis, who I happened to go to college with. Great guy, by the way. He was born in Michigan, went to the University of New Mexico, turned out to be a really good wide receiver with the Jets, and then with Atlanta. But yeah, we were there. We were there the same years at the University of New Mexico. I knew Terrence. Also, Luke Longley was there. He came in. I think he was 2 years after me, but not too many great New Mexico players. Glenn Doughty. So that's how far I've gotten. I think I got kickers in here. Pete Stoyanovich and Josh Lambo. Earl Morrall can do some punting. He'll back up Brandon Fields, who will be the punter. And I think for logos, I'm going to come in here with some of the state flags. So for the team, it'll be like the Michigan team. I'll use the Michigan team as a logo. Chris Slovic is going to assign each team to the most prominent football stadium, whether it's pro or college. So for Michigan, it'll probably be the Big House. In Texas, he's going to go with Texas Stadium. So he's going to take that approach. So Chris is really looking forward to sometime in January kicking this league off where he'll do there'll be 8 divisions of 32 teams and he'll do pool play just like in soccer. So there'll be 6 games in the pool. Each team will play the other one a home and away, and then from then he'll come out of those pools into an actual tournament. So really excited to take this project because these players that I've done for this project can all be used for an all-time greats. It just gives me probably a more than 2/3 head start into an all-time great file. And because that's why I'm taking the time not just to import what I call the lazy, just import from an existing file I have the one season. It would be a lot quicker, but I'm interested in this right here, right? Getting a more of about 3 years, a better indicative snapshot of what that player is. So here's James Brooks. I'm using 85, 86, 89. So again, I'm going to take this information right here, and then I'm going to maneuver him to the 1986 data. If anybody hasn't noticed, a little bit different how they do eras in Michigan. So if we go into Michigan, it's modified team and information. Okay, there's information. Let me see where I can find this. As far as eras. pick up Stojanovic. So if I go over here, I can pick up the year they're assigned to, right? This is going to modify their base. So again, the game needs to know what data was going on that year to modify that player's stats. So it's a good way to cross era things. Let's take a look at some else. I've got the quarterbacks here. So we take a look at Danielson. Take a look at his rating. So we're going to see his era plus, right? So his rushing, his completion. So this is a way you go over here to era plus. You can say, hey, what's his completion percentage in relation to the year he came from and the year we're going to play this in, right? Is it a little bit above average? Is it below or whatever? Because not all players are created equal. Just looking numbers for numbers. So here's Earl Morrall. So he's just a little bit above average. Craig Norton just right at average. So if you look at this, the pass completion percentage, ERA plus, the ERA plus, not a lot of excitement here. Pretty average quarterbacks that this Michigan team's going to have, right? And what's cool about it is it can take a look at their ratings and what it looks like here just in comparison based on the different types of passes and how they expand out. So this is going to get me back into player creation in the football game, which I'm having fun. And again, it gives me a chance to move from project to project based on the season, right? When I get excited about something now through the football season, I'll be able to dig in here and have some fun with that. So cool. Glad everybody's here. And see, Dwayne says, give everyone 5 minutes. Great. And I'm going to leave now so Dwayne can go and kick off the Shanks League. More to come on all my varying projects and that, but I'm I'm plenty busy on projects while this baseball winds down, and then we'll pick up the playoffs and get those set up, and then maybe get the I guess wild card rounds done, and then once we get into some of the divisional stuff, maybe we can sim a little and play a little if others are willing to pick that up. So appreciate. I know we've had many people in here. In fact, I think we got nine people hanging around listening to me talk nonsense. It's unbelievable that 9 people would do that. But I know big thanks as we always do to those here. Dwayne, Carlos Yaz was here. Big Clue. Um, Beatles stopped by. Christopher Slovic. Who else do we had in here? Arnold popped in early. Ken Castro was here as well. Bernard was here earlier. I know Bernard's enjoying his vacation, but everybody head over to Dwayne Martz's channel here in the next several minutes. He's going to be firing up some Shanks games. Looking forward to that. And with that, happy simming. Hopefully, everybody's being left alone by their significant others if they have those, and allowed to enjoy this day of Sims, we'll call it, and see how long we can kick this can down the road today and get a bunch of Sims in and hop over channel to channel. So, with that, have a great rest of your Monday.